I just started recording now so that to be able to, those that are not available right now can watch later on. So as usual, I'm going to be muting everybody. I'm going to be muting everybody. So if you have any question at any time, or you want to make some contributions.
Yeah, hello friends, good day to you all.
Yeah, give me a minute. Let me quickly pause something.
I'll be doing weekly half once in a while when I feel I have the chance to. First of all, let me first welcome you guys. You guys are welcome to this weekly webinar. Let me start the recording. I just started recording now so that to be able.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I connected this to the YouTube live, so that was what was playing back right now. So I needed to quickly lower the volume. So this happens to be more like our first weekly outlook. I don't know if I have some of my students here. We used to have this kind of meeting once in a while. So do you have any questions so far before we even start? Do you have any questions that have been bothering your mind throughout the week, during the week? Do you have anything you want to address before we now start attending to the weekly webinars? Does anybody have any question that have been bothering your mind? If you have any question, just raise your hand and I'm going to unmute you, but make sure you are in a very quiet place. Does anybody have any question regarding the market, what we have been facing so far, or you want to make some clarifications first before we really start? And I also need you guys to confirm my audio. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Just let me know by typing yes or why, so that I know that you guys are there and you can hear me. Okay, so let's start then. I guess you guys don't have any question for now, but what we want to do right now is to try to look at the market together and learn together and have our expectations of what we need to look out for in the coming week, or most likely in the coming months. So first of all, we are going to be starting with dollar index. And for the dollar index, this is the chart I have right here. And we are going to be looking at what we are expecting so far. Then later on, we go to other currency pairs. So right now, this is the labeling for dollar index. As usual, we are going to first start with the weekly time frame. Then we come to the daily time frame to try to have an understanding of what we are expecting from the dollar index. So this is the Elliott wave labeling for the dollar index weekly time frame. And as you can see right here, it's more looking as if we are still expecting some more upside, that we expect that dollar is going to be strong for some time. Then later on, it can eventually start going weak. So here we have a zigzag formation 535 that ends with an ending diagonal. Then after that, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we are in an ABC. So we are in this ABC right now, and for that ABC, we have done wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and wave 5. And most likely, we are going to be having also a zigzag formation, 5, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we are expecting a 3-wave move to the upside, WXY, then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So most likely, the dollar index is still going to be getting to this level. But before it gets there, it needs to at least come to this area. This area for this kind of zigzag formation usually end around the 78.6 and the 88.6. So we are still expecting that dollar is going to be strong. So with that information, we can go to the daily time frame and see what exactly we have right now. So we have specific labeling on the daily time frame, and just like what I explained to you before, we have the zigzag formation 5. Then we are expecting a 3-way move, then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. So right now, price is most likely going to be giving us a leading diagonal, something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Then most likely it's going to go up for more impulse move within that diagonal 5 before eventually it starts going down. So, which is why you see this. So right now, price is rejecting this area, and it's most likely going to be doing this. So if we have now that we have the information about the dollar index, which makes us see that there's a possibility that dollar is going to be strong in the coming week, then it can give us an idea of what to expect in EURUSD, GBPUSD, and also gold. So let's go to EURUSD. So for the EURUSD, hold on a little. I'm trying to make sure this thing doesn't fall. So for the EURUSD, we have this. As usual, we're going to first start with the weekly time frame, then we go all the way down to maybe the daily time frame or the 4 hours time frame. So the price action we can see here on the EURUSD is that we are in this formation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now price is trading in a corrective manner, which is the WXYXZ, WXYXZ. So we're expecting that price is going to get to the Z area before it eventually starts going up. So if you remember that when we were analyzing the dollar index, we have an idea that price is going to first go up, then it will eventually start coming down. In that same vein, also, we usually expect the reverse for EURUSD. So in this formation right now, we are expecting that price is going to first come down, then it will eventually start going up. It's going to be giving us this kind of impulse move after it has completed, giving us the 535 formation. So let's go to the daily time frame, to the daily time frame. So we're expecting that price is going to come down here to stay this low later on. So with that in mind, let's go to the daily time frame. Now for the daily time frame, this is where we are. Price have already done the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which make a complete impulse move for X. Remember that on the weekly time frame, we are actually in WXYXZ formation. So this completes the with X. Now after that, we're expecting that price is going to go down to test Z before it will eventually start looking forward to bullish movement. So what we have right now is that we can expect another 535, which is the zigzag formation, which is what I currently label here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right now we are in B. And why price have actually been trading in an irregular manner is because right now, we don't even know if the B is completed or it has started the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. But if you look at here forms the correction phase. Let me change the color right now. Here forms the correction phase for this move downwards. But what is not sure right now is that if we are going to still test this low, we are going to be testing this low first before going down. But if price, which is why I decided to draw this trend line right here, anything that makes price breaks below this trend line that you can see right here, it means that we have already completed the correction phase for this wave B, and as a matter of fact, we are heading toward the last 5 moves before price will eventually start going up from there. So we are expecting that since the dollar index is going to be strong for some time before it eventually come down, then EURUSD is going to come down for some time before it eventually starts going up. So if you go to the 4 hours time frame too, you'll be able to see where we currently are. So this is where we are. And if you remember that in the group, I gave you guys a sell setup on the EURUSD. We are with the assumption that price is going to break below this level. But if price doesn't break below the level, then we allow it to hit the stop loss. The reason is because if it doesn't break below this level, then it means that it's going to go one more up before it eventually come down. So since it's going to go one more up before it eventually come down, then our stop loss needs to be here. That means price is going to be doing something like this, then we're tracing to go up. So which is why I decided to put the stop loss right there. And by Monday, market open, we'll be able to know exactly what price it's going to do, whether it's going to break out from that trend line, whether it's going to break out from here. Once it breaks out from here, then we confirm our test of low. But if it doesn't break out from here, then the stop loss that I put there is a very tight one. Around here, I think around 23 pips or thereabout. I decided to make it a very small stop loss, just in case price have not finished going to the downside. So that gives us an idea of what we should expect on the EURUSD. On the dollar index, we have the idea that price is going to go up to test the wave B before it eventually comes down. And also on the EURUSD, we have the idea that price is going to go down for the Z before it eventually starts going up. So the correlation is very perfect with that right there. So in that same vein, let's quickly go to GBPUSD and see if we have that kind of similar formation for GBPUSD. As usual, we are going to start from the weekly time frame all the way down to the 4 hours time frame. So on the weekly time frame, let's look at the structure, overall structure that we have. Right here, we have that price have done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then after that, we are having a zigzag formation. The zigzag formation is actually the ABC that you can see right here. The whole of this is the A. Then we have the correction phase to be the B, and price is now heading forward to the C. Ideally, for this kind of zigzag formation, you are supposed to have an equal leg of this A. So that means if price is starting here up to this level, then we might have the same kind of leg for the wave C. So wave C may most likely be terminating around here. Now, the interesting thing about the Elliott wave is that you used to have a subset of every setup. So that means as you have a big zigzag right now that you are looking at, even internally, you can also be looking at another zigzag formation, which is this and this. And that's the structure that we are going to be seeing by the time we switch to the daily time frame. So what happened right now is that after price has completed the B, we are having a 1, 2, 3, and price eventually went for 4. And we're expecting that price is going to come down for wave 5. So by the time you get to the daily time frame, you'll be able to see the structure more clearly. Now this is the daily time frame. Let me try to reduce it so that you see the angle at which you're coming from. So for the daily time frame, price made this impulse move for wave 1, they made this correction for wave 2, they made this impulse move again for wave 3. Now inside this wave 3, we still have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a matter of fact, even inside wave 5, we still have another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I just didn't label that. So after the price have gotten to the wave 3, then eventually it now started doing the WXYXZ correction, which is what they have right there. This is the W, X, Y, X, and Z. So we have the double tree right there. We have WXY, WXY. So when it finished the correction phase, we are now heading towards another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what's happening right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so right now, price is actually in wave 4, and is most likely going to later on come to test this level for wave 5, which also completes the wave C. So that is what we'll be expecting by the time I switch on to the daily time frame. On the weekly time frame, you'll be able to see most of all this labeling that are subsets. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just trying to mute a notification that keep on disturbing me right here. Okay. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. Now, for the 4 hours time frame, we had Brexit that happened some time ago. And if you remember that before we even had the Brexit, I gave this setup for a WXY. The price is supposed to complete this level right here before it eventually start coming down. Now, the Brexit effect was what made this to come to this low. I was even thinking it's going to flush down completely. So I eventually exited all my trades. I was on GDP trades before the Brexit, and based on my little research, I thought that there's going to be high volatility in the market, and it's going to be very major. So in order for the whole account not to crash, I decided to just close some of the position in loss to be on the safe side. So I was actually looking at the possibility of price coming down eventually because of the Brexit, but it did not. And as a matter of fact, I edged my position to go long and also add a short position. And because of the Brexit, it just kept on doing very funny way, and I don't want to be caught unaware by surprising, so I have to end every trade. I think about 50% TD. I just closed them. So right now I'm just taking new trades. So I'm in GBPUSD sell right now. Let me go back to the MT4 and let's go to GBPUSD so that you'll see. What I will try to do is that each time I come to the trading view, I'll also try to go to the MT4 so that you have an idea of exact place where price action is. Because the candles and the way the trading view candles are structured is not usually the same way the MT4 are structured. They are the same thing, but you can see the whole of the candles on the trading view, but on the MT4 you may not be able to see that. So this is the GBPUSD, and I gave you guys a sell setup during the week, and I was expecting that price is going to keep on going down. So this was what I saw then. I drew this trend line, that if price doesn't break above this trend line, then it means that we are going to keep on going down. So immediately I was seeing a rejection around that zone, then I triggered the sell. And if you are not going to be closing your sell too much, then price may just keep on, market may just keep on blessing you. As a matter of fact, if I go to the weekly time frame, we can have an idea of where wave 5 would be. Is either we are going to be having a truncated wave 5. Those that have been following my analysis of my student, we understand what I mean by truncated wave 5, because right now it's more looking as if price have gone down significantly, and so there may not be much room for wave 5 to be completed, but you can have wave 5 to complete around this level. And as at that time also, we are expecting that there's going to be momentum divergence on the RSI. So if I'm going to be leaving my trade for some time right now, then wave 5 should end somewhere around here. That will give us how many pips? Just hold on. Let me quickly set the 127.2 and 161.8. So wave 5 is ultimately supposed to be ending around here, and it's supposed to be giving us about 3,000 pips, or minimum of 2,000 pips. So we need 2,000 to 3,000 pips. So if you're able to get in right now, you are going to be lucky with the blessing. But even if you are not in the trade, it's going to still be giving us another opportunity. By the time it gets to somewhere around here and breaks below, it's going to go up again before it keep on going down. So I'm saying that if it comes down right now from there, then it's going to come up again. That's where you can enter it from to keep on going down. Now, what if price is not going to go down, and what if eventually it wants to start going up? Well, as a matter of fact, it needs to at least first complete this pullback, then go for up like this and come down and give us a structure that will tell us that we are going to go long from that spot. That's when we can be looking forward to real going long. But for now, we are looking at going short, because the trend that we can see on the weekly time frame shows us that we are in a bearish market. Price is making a lower low. So as much as price is still making lows and lows and lows, we are going to be looking forward to riding the short for a very long term. So we are expecting a WXY inside this wave 4. Then most likely we are going to be having a pullback. That pullback that I told you is what we may eventually be seeing right here. We may be having something like this. Then after that, going forward, then if it fails to break below this level and go down, then you are going to be having it go for a very long time. But if that is not going to be the case and it wants to keep on going up, then you should be looking at something like this. It's going to be giving you a structure that will confirm this inverse shoulder edge shoulder pattern for us to go long from that spot. So those are the two scenarios that we are going to be looking at for the GBPUSD. So let's go to EURJPY. So we have analyzed the dollar index, the EURUSD and the GBPUSD, and we could see that we are expecting that the dollar index is going to be strong for some time, then later on start getting weak. So eventually we are expecting that EURUSD will be selling for some time, then later eventually start getting strong. Then also GBPUSD will be selling for some time before it starts buying. So this is the EURJPY weekly time frame. And right here, we did something like this. We had the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we had the ABC. So right now, what we are having now is a new cycle, and the new cycle is this, which is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and ABC. And right now, we are having a structure that might most likely continue to the downside. By the time it gets to the daily time frame, the structure will be clearer. But right now, I'm still looking at the possibility of either price giving us another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where we are going to be having this kind of structure right there. Or if it's not going to, once it breaks below this level, if it breaks below this level, then it means that we want to start going down. And most likely, we are going to be having a zigzag formation. So we go to the daily time frame to see what we have right there. So for the daily time frame, this is where we are, and I'm expecting that price is going to go down, just like I explained to you guys before. So if you look at this structure, price was actually moving in an irregular manner. Before now, I had tried to look at this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and all of this as wave 4, and expecting wave 5. But because of the way price and the way and manner at which price was moving, it made me to have a rethink that most likely we are just having a double trees because price is moving in 3 manner. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. The way price is moving is not moving as if it is actually an impulse move, which is why I've decided to label this the WXY, and we are also having another WXY. Now, inside this X, we are having something that looks like an expanded triangle, A, B, C, D, and E. So price is going to go down later on, but for now, because of this structure that we have, this is the expanding triangle, we are expecting that price is going to be making a 5-wave correction, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. After the completion of 5, then it can go down in another 3-wave move for wave Y. So in the internal, we are expecting a 3-wave move to the upside. But by the time we get to the 4 hours time frame, you will see that price is going to be giving us something that looks like a flat correction for us to be going long. But for now, we are expecting that price is going to give us a 3-wave move inside that expanding triangle. So this is what we have on the 4 hours time frame. And just like I explained to you before, we are expecting a WXY, and price may most likely be moving in a 3-wave manner, which is what we have right here. Price have done this. This is an internal W, and right now we may be having a correction X before price go for that one. So, but before it to go, it's supposed to give us at least a 3-wave correction, which is why yesterday, maybe yesterday or the day before yesterday, I can't remember, I gave you guys a sell up to this level because I'm expecting this. This is impulse, then price is supposed to make a 3-wave correction, A, B, C. Then after that, go for the next impulse to the upside. So if you go to the MT4, let's go to EURJPY. This is a setup I give you guys. So on that spot, we're expecting that this is going to be giving us a 3-wave correction right here. But what I don't know right now is that if price is going to be giving us a running flat. If it's going to be a running flat, then price is going to come and take us out in this stop loss, which is why I used to tell you guys sometimes to take the stop loss, because after some time, it can eventually start coming down. Now, the setup for the running flat is that the way B, this is X, this is the A, this is the B. The way B is going to be terminating slightly above the level of X. And that is the kind of formation that the market makers use to first hunt down some people's stop loss before they eventually blast price down here to wave C. Then after that, price will eventually start going up. So if you are going to be having that kind of a stomp on structure, where price will be doing this, will be respecting this trend line that I'm drawing right now internally, then it's going to be doing this. It's going to actually come down right here and refuse to break below, then eventually go up one more time, hitting the stop loss before it eventually starts coming down. So by the time we get Monday morning comes, the market opens, we need to watch what price action is going to do and take precautions. So what I'm going to be looking at eventually right now is that when price open and we are in profit and it comes down right here, I'll be looking forward to this area for a rejection. The rejection that's going to be giving us the next impulse to the upside. Let's go back to our analysis. So I believe you are cleared on the EURJPY. Maybe I should quickly take the GBPJPY because they usually have the same structure. So we have the same similar structure on the GBPJPY, but we're expecting that it's going to come down first before it goes up. But let's start from the weekly time frame. I usually like starting from the highest time frame, usually the weekly time frame, then going all the way down to the 4-hour time frame. So we are going to try to identify the structure that we have on the weekly time frame. Now, we don't have historical price action beyond this point, and most likely price may have been coming all the way down from this top and get here. Then after that, it's now giving us a correction, A, B, and C correction before it eventually start giving us a zigzag formation. Now, for the zigzag formation, we are having this 5, and this is the 3, and we are expecting another possibly 5-wave move to the downside. So most likely price is going to break below this trend line in the long run. That can take over a year or even 2 years, and then eventually start going down. But that's a long-term outlook. But for now, we want to concentrate on the outlook within this area. So by the time we go to the daily time frame, it will also become clearer. Now, this is the daily time frame, and right here, just like I explained to you guys before, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then price made a correction A, B, C. Then the way and manner at which price is moving right now does not suggest that this is impulse, which is why I have labeled this as a WXY. So most likely price is going to come down for an A, go up for a retracement B, then eventually come down for wave C, based on what we can see on the weekly time frame. So right now we are in the structure of the WXYXZ, and price is going to go up, then come down first before going up further. So by the time we go to the 4-hour time frame now, it's supposed to now become clearer. So for the 4-hour time frame, this is what we have. We have the WXY, and even the internally is also a WXY. So we are having price moving in 3 manner. This is a 3-wave correction, another 3, then another 3, then we are expecting another 3 to the upside, another 3 to the downside. So price is moving in 3-wave manner, and we are going to be labeling it not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but a WXY and probably XZ. So price have done this impulse to the upside, just as we had it in the EURJPY too. Has done this impulse to the upside, so we are expecting a correction to the downside first before we eventually start going up. And the reason for this correction is because even right now, GBPUSD seems to be selling. And so it means that most likely pounds is going to be weak for some time. before it eventually becomes strong. So there's a possibility that price is going to go well up to that level, and which is why if you see that during the week, let's go to the GBPJPY right here. During the week, I gave you guys a sell structure on a sell signal on GBPJPY, but price eventually started first moving against us. So I just wait for price to get to the next level where it wants to start going down, and I hit the second trade from there. I'm trying to go to the 4-hour time frame. I don't know why it's not. Okay, because of that. So this is what I saw right there. Price have done this, then it made the correction, then it now went up to this level. So the first structure that I saw that initially gave me that sell signal was this. I was looking at a diagonal structure where we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So price is supposed to come down here first before it eventually start going up. But that structure did not hold, and so the rejection, the up move continued up to this level. So right now I've taken the second sell, and if price eventually gets to this level right here, you can see that the stop loss, the target of the first sell, has been moved to the entry. So price is going to close it down. Then we are going to be having the X. We are going to be having the X getting to somewhere around here before we now start going for Y. So we are going to be having W, X, and Y later on. So even if price is going to go up, it needs to first at least correct the move that it has done. This move needs to be corrected. It needs to be corrected a little before it eventually starts going up. But if it's not going to do that, then this is the alternative. Price is going to be ending somewhere around here, and it's going to be doing something like this for further up move. So when that happens, as at that time, this is going to be, I'm going to be in profit as at that time. So I may decide to close this at the minor loss, and this one eventually becomes profit. And the most important thing about what you need to know is that when you are taking trade, you need to know how to manage your trade. It is called trade management, and it's even harder than taking a trade. So let's go to the next one. The next one right there is the EURAUD. And as usual, we're going to be starting from the weekly time frame to understand where we are going to. Then we end it on the 4 hours time frame. So the structure that we have right here is a very obvious one. Price have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now is on ABC. So currently is in a wave B, and if you are my students, you remember that I told you that wave B is usually going to be very, very complex. So with that, we are expecting that price is going to be giving us a 5-wave correction right here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So price is still supposed to get to this level first before eventually going up. So we are looking at a bearish trend on the EURAUD. If you are looking for a bearish trend on the EURAUD, Euro and AUD, it means that AUD needs to be strong. It means that AUD needs to be strong to drag Euro down. So that means we may go to the AUDUSD to try to find out the setup right there and use it to confirm our setup on the EURAUD. So we are having something like a reverse of the EURAUD right now. If you remember that in the EURAUD, price is somewhere around here and it wants to go down. But in the AUDUSD, price is actually around here and it wants to go up. So as a matter of fact, it is confirming the setup that we have on the EURAUD. So we can go back to the EURAUD since we have been able to confirm the reverse manner happening between the two. So on the daily time frame, we'll be able to see the structure more clearly. So this is the structure that we have on the EURAUD daily time frame. And as a matter of fact, price was actually moving in 3 waves, and it eventually ended with an any diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so most likely we have now started the move to the downside, wave 1, wave 2, and price may most likely do this wave 3, wave 4, and eventually coming down here. Or it may be moving in 3-wave manner, where you are going to be having WXY. So in that case, it's going to be doing something like this. This is the W, this is the X, and the Y is supposed to end somewhere around here. So it may be doing something like this. I'm very sorry, and I think this thing is shaking. Closed up. Yeah. So it may be doing something like this right here, completing the WXY, then going for another 3-wave move to the upside, then coming for another 3-wave move to the downside. So it might be giving you a similar structure. So around, nobody knows the exact way price is going to move, but what we know is that we are supposed to be having something that will look like this also to the downside before price eventually starts going up. Then let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Now for the 4-hour time frame, we already have something that looks like a flat, a zigzag formation. So I'm looking at a possible zigzag. On this time frame, you can see that price have done a 5-wave right here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it made this correction to the upside. Then I'm also expecting another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I've not drawn the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very well to the downside. So it's supposed to be something like this. Then 5 to the downside. So I can give it a wave so that you try to see what I'm talking about. So it's most likely going to be giving us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside. But what we want to be looking at right now is a sell formation, which is why I've not given you guys any signal yet on the Euro AUD. Let's go to the Euro AUD on our MT4 and see where we are. Just hold on a little. I think the MT4 is being hooked down by the software I have currently running. Or as a matter of fact, I can change the template to a very free one. Okay, I think we have it right now. So what we have right now is that we have had this, and we had this correction. I think this may most likely be the time of Brexit. This may most likely be the time of Brexit, and I'm not going to be regarding this. This is just a fake out. So right now I'm expecting price to do this and eventually start coming down. I'm expecting price to do this 1, 2, wave 3 to end somewhere around here. Then wave 4, then possibly wave 5, breaking this low. So what looks most likely is that we are going to be breaking below this level, right, later on. But for now, price is in a no man's land, and we might even be having a correction first before we eventually start going down. So we are going to be waiting for price to get to somewhere around here. These are what the support and resistance people will do. They will have drawn a resistance, a support level around here. And some of them may be taking a buy when price gets here. But you need to look at the overall structure before you try to take anything. So if price gets here, there's most likely high probability that it's going to break it below. It's going to break below. So people that want to buy right here should be careful, because price can eventually get to this spot before going up and coming down. So we are going to be looking at the overall structure later on for further movement. So when are we going to start selling this pair? We'll let it do what it wants to do and let it retrace back a little before we eventually look for a sell structure around that spot. If we don't get that, then we'll leave it for now. Let's go to the next one. So we're expecting downside on the Euro AUD, but for now, it's in a state where we cannot trade. EURCAD. We are going to start from the weekly time frame as usual, then we scale down to the 4-hour time frame. So the structure that we have on the Euro AUD weekly time frame look more something like this. I think that price, we don't have the historical information beyond this point, but I think that price would have been coming down all the way to this level. Then eventually it did a true wave correction down, did a true wave correction. So price eventually was moving in this triangle, and it's a descending triangle. As you can see, it's a descending triangle, and we still need, and if you know the properties of a descending triangle, price need to move to correct a 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are still expecting that price is going to get here, and it's going to be moving in a 3-wave manner. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Even though the internal count can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on what you can see. But on the overall structure, we are supposed to be looking at a 3, 3, 3, 3 formation. If you remember the qualities of a triangle. So we have established that for EURCAD, we are going to be going down. And also, if you look at the EURCAD has Euro, then it also has CAD. So the determinant factor of whether this is going to go down is the CAD. If CAD is going to be strong, then it means that it's going to be stronger than the Euro, and this is going to fall. And one of the ways that we can know if CAD is going to be strong is by us going to the USDCAD, and look at the structure right there. So you can see that the structure right there also on USDCAD is also for price to go down, which means that CAD is also expected to be stronger than dollar, and eventually also going to be stronger than Euro. So I gave the structure for a sell. I gave a sell signal on USDCAD some time ago. This should be in 2017 or 2016. This should be in 2016, and I gave this sell structure, and that's where we are right now. We have actually moved down. You know the rest of the story. Price have come down up to this level. So let's go back to our. I just came here so that we know that the structure we also have on USDCAD is showing a down movement where you have this impulse correction, then we are expecting another impulse down. So we can go back to the EURCAD and continue up to the daily time frame and 4-hour time frame. So for the EURCAD daily time frame, we add an internal triangle which has already completed, and price is eventually coming down. And so you have your wave 1 here that ended with a diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2 correction, and we're expecting price to keep on coming down for wave 3. So if you go to your MC4, and let's go to EURCAD to try to find out the level that we are, which is why I gave you guys a sell signal on EURCAD on Friday. It's because I could see that price is not going to give us any correction for anymore. It just wants to keep on coming down. As a matter of fact, on the 4-hour time frame, I was expecting price to give us a shoulder pattern as a pullback first, something like this. The price is eventually going to go up to this level, then start coming down. But that did not happen. So I told you guys to quickly close your buy during the week. And when I saw that it's breaking below this level, I gave the sell signal. So when are we going to be getting out of this sell? If by Monday morning, and price come back into this area right here, if it breaks above this level, then it means that it's most likely going to be going up, and we may have to close our position in loss. As at that time, we may be losing about 70 pips or thereabout. But we are not going to worry. All we just need to do is to wait for price to complete the correction. That means we either look for a way to get in to the upside, then take another sell around this spot to go to the downside. Or we wait for price to eventually get here, then we ride it to the downside. since we know that the structure that we have on the long term is a down. Euro Swiss. Also, we are going to start from the weekly time frame before we go to the lower time frame. So for this, we had something that looks like a zigzag formation, 535. Unfortunately, we did not have any price information beyond this spot. But even at that, we can see a 335. And remember that for a flat correction, we have it as 335. So right here, we have a 3, which is the WXY. We have another 3, which is the WXY that I labeled. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So price completed that structure altogether. And now we are moving in this manner. So if price is moving in this manner, then it's giving us a WXY correction. That means we expect that price is going to keep on going down after it's completed the Y. So we can now go to the daily time frame to try to look at what to expect. Now, for the daily time frame, you remember that I told you that we have a three-wave correction, WXY, which is another W right here. Then this is the correction, the X, and we are still expecting to go up. But we are not going to be going up yet. We still need price to come and test this low. Why? Because we have price moving in a diagonal formation, and it's most likely going to be giving us something that looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Something like an ending diagonal before it eventually starts going up. So even though we are going to go up, well, it is not yet time for us to go up unless we see an indication that confirms that we are going to start going up. If you go to the 4 hours time frame, it can look clearer from there. So right here, we have the WX. We either label it the WXY, or we are going to be labeling it is this is the X, the A, B, C. The price is going to be coming down here, D, and then going up, E, before it eventually start coming down. But that's why I did not label it A, B, C, D, E, because I'm not expecting price to keep on going down. I'm expecting it to keep on going up. So as a matter of fact, you can actually label it just the W, X, and Y. So based on this structure right now, we're expecting that price may break below this level, to test the low. Let's go to the MT4 and see the setup that we have right there. Euro Swiss. You can see that price have already started showing us an indication to go short right there. Look at this candle. It's giving you an indication to go short. So if we have our entry on by the time market opens, I'm going to be giving you guys the setup for you to take the trade. Something that will look like this. So if price gets here, it may eventually still go up one more time before it comes down. Maybe I'm going to be having X, A, B, and C correction. That's the three-way move before finally coming down. So even if we don't get this trade to the downside, we can wait for it to come down for a retracement around this spot for us to go short. But the number of pips that we are going to be making from that spot is supposed to be about 100 pips. But for the overall long term, it's supposed to be more than price is supposed to get here. So it's supposed to get to this level around here. And that's how many number of pips. That's for those that will be leaving their trade for a very long time. About just roughly 400 pips. Now, Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, let's start from the weekly time frame as usual. Then we scale it down to the 4 hours time frame. So right here, price gave us a kind of a zigzag formation, ABC formation. Then after that, we add another ABC formation also. Then we are now trading in a sideways movement. And this most likely is going to be a correction before price start going down. So we're expecting that this is with A, B, C, and price is going to come down for D and go up for E before it eventually start going down later on. So with this in mind, by the time we get to the daily time frame, we'll be able to have an idea of what to look out for. So right now, on the lower time frame, price have also done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, giving us the A. Then we have the correction, a three-wave correction, giving us the B. And I'm expecting that price is going to be giving us another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, going to the extent of T, where it completes the zigzag formation 5, 3, 5. So if you go to the 4 hours time frame, you'll also be able to see the structure clearly. So right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a correction ABC. We're expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 downwards. So we'll be looking forward to sell Euro New Zealand later on. Euro New Zealand right here. Let's go to the daily time frame. If you remember the structure, I think it's even clear on the 4 hours time frame. If you remember the structure that I told you guys during the week, I told you that Euro New Zealand will get to sell around here, and after that we'll be looking forward to selling it. But right now, I am not yet convinced that this correction is over. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting a three-wave correction right here. For price to go down to this level, then eventually start coming down, giving us something like this for us to go short. So don't sell it yet. Let it finish the retracement. Look at this candle. This candle is letting you know that buyers are still in the market and pushing price up. So even if you sell, if you have sold, you are not wrong. It's just that you entered it at the wrong time. If by the time price finish its correction to the downside, that's about maybe 150 pips or thereabouts, then you can take a next sell. And how do you know that? This is going to be giving you AB equals to the CD formation on the harmonic pattern. Here this is going to be the A, this is the B, this is the C, and price is going to be ending D around here. And the geometrical relationship for that is that this is supposed to be equal leg right here. It's supposed to give you an equal leg. So I'm waiting for price to break below first before taking the sell. So I'm expecting something like this, price to get to around the 127.2. It's not supposed to get to the 161.8 in this instance. It's just supposed to be 127.2, and price eventually starts selling from there. So it's not yet time to sell it. We'll be selling it later on when it is time. EURJPY. Now, EURJPY has a very complex one, but let's go to the weekly time frame first and try to identify the structure from there before we eventually start looking for what to expect on the lower time frame. So what we have right here is that price have done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, let me draw it very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, it moved in a WXY manner, W, X, and Y. After that, it now started doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are in ABC. So we are still going to be coming down, but for now, it is not yet time to. I'm not sure if we are going to break the low immediately. We may still have a test of high before it eventually comes down. As a matter of fact, in the lower time frame, this structure was giving us a very, very complex structure. Daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we have this that is happening. Price first gave us a triangle formation, which is impulse. Let me use blue, which is impulse. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's A, B, C, D, E. And I was expecting that price would eventually start going down based on the structure that we could see on the weekly time frame, but it did not. It now decided to give us a complex structure. And if you remember our training for some of my students, if you remember our training for complex structure, you would see that this is a typical example of that complex structure. Now you have a triangle, then you have a correction X, then you are going to be having maybe another flat right here. Price may still get to this level, before it eventually comes down. However, if it's going to be going up, then it's not supposed to break below this level at all. This is the benchmark where it's not supposed to go below. So if it's still breaking, if you still find it very difficult to break below this level, then it means that we may be looking forward for further price action to the upside. But for now, what we have right there is that price needs to get to this level, then decide whether it wants to break it or it wants to go up one more time. On the 4-hour time frame, we have this. So price eventually did a WXY to the upside, and right now it did a 1, 2, 3, and we're expecting the correction before it eventually comes down. Why are we expecting the correction? If you go to the GBPUSD, if you remember the structure on the GBPUSD, we have something that looks like this. Price was coming down and moving in this manner, remember, and now price is supposed to now start going down. So based on that structure on GBPUSD, this is the reverse of GBPUSD, EURJPY. The GDP right here is the driver for this, and they usually have a reverse structure. So that means that GDP is going to be weak. If GDP is going to be weak, it means that euro may be stronger compared to GDP, and that's why it may have this pullback first before it eventually starts coming down. So I gave you guys, let me see if I can quickly go to the setup I gave you guys during the week on EURJPY. I should be able to see it. Okay, this is the setup that I told you guys during the week, and I was expecting that price because it formed a round bottom. If you remember some of our training on this, it formed a round bottom, and we may expect that price is going to come down. Then before we ride it for wave 4. So based on that, we can now go to the 4-hour time frame on EURJPY and see where we are, so that we have an example of what we are going to be looking out for. So this is where we are. Let me go to the 1-hour time frame so that you'll be able to see the rounded bottom clearly. So we have this, and we're expecting that our price is going to get to this level. Now, if price gets to this area and breaks below this level, it is no more going to be forming the cup and handle formation, and we don't want to buy it anymore. It will keep on going down. So when price gets to this area, that's when we need to, you can see it has already given us an indication that it's going to go down. Now, for some people that do not know how to enter a trade, or that quickly usually jump into the trade, they will start panicking right now, and because they are going to be in loss of maybe about 40 pips. But some of you cannot hold a position for long in loss. So by the time it gets here, this is where you eventually know whether it's going to go up or not. If it's going to be giving us this kind of structure, then we are going to be buying it. But if it's not going to be giving us that structure and it keep on going down, then we are going to discard it, and we are not going to be trading it at all for now. GBPUSD, we've looked at GBPUSD before, and so I'm not going to be wasting time on it. As a matter of fact, we are looking out for price to come down here for wave 4. Inside this wave 4, giving us a WXY, then maybe a pullback, then a further 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the downside, completing that structure. Now for the next one that we're going to be looking at is GBPJPY. Now for GBPJPY, we've already also talked about this before, so I'm not going to be wasting my time on this. We're expecting price to pull back a little, then go up one more time. The next one we'll be looking at is GBPAUD. Now, for the GBP AUD, we are going to start from the weekly time frame. Then we try to find out, look at what we are expecting by the time we get to the lower time frame, daily and 4 hours time frame. So what do we have right here? Price gave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that ended with that ending diagonal, then gave us a 3-wave formation. Normally, I will have labeled this the A, B, and C. But as you can see, this does not give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gave us a 3-wave structure, which is why I have to label it a WXY, because the internal are moving in threes. You have 3, you have 3, you have 3. So, which is why it has to be WXY. So it is not all the time that it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. No, it depends on what you can see, what price has eventually done. So even if you have already first anticipated an ABC, and then price did what it did right now, you can change your labeling from that ABC to WXY to go by the rules of Elliott wave. So after that, we now start having another 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're expecting that price is going to go down one more time for wave 5. The wave 4 gave us this complex structure, which we identify as the WXY on the lower time frame. And right now, it looks as if we have started moving downwards. So by the time we go to the lower time frame, we'll be able to see clearly if the move to the downside has started yet or not. So as you can see on this time frame, price was moving in this corrective manner. Then here ends the correction part. Before price eventually came down, went for correction, then it's expected to start going down. So if it's not going to be going down, then this is what it's going to do. It's going to be doing something like this for us to be going long. So that means that in any which way, even if we have price going up a little, it's supposed to come down first, test around this area for us to go long. That is if it's not going to be respecting the move to the downside. But the move to this downside is more favored than the move to the upside. So I'm expecting that price is going to be giving us an internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on wave 3. So you are going to be having something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inside this wave 3 for it to be valid. So on the overall, you can be having the whole of this to be wave 3, then price going for wave 4 before it eventually come down. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see the price action there too. So this is looking more likely that we have started the wave 3 to the downside, just like I explained to you before. And for those of you that know harmonic patterns really well, let me go to the MT4 and let's try to see if we can spot an harmonic pattern on that spot on this time frame. Now, the reason why the software may not give you is because of this spike to the upside during the Brexit. I guess, I'm not sure, but this is more like a spike. But we are looking at this. I'm going to be looking at price actually starting from here, disregarding the spike, and taking it to this level. So price right now retraces around the 50%. Retraces around the 50%. So price did not get to 61.8%. If it had gotten to the 61.8%, then most likely we'll be looking at the Gartley pattern. But for me, I think it actually ended around the 50%. 50% right here. Price actually ended around the 50%. Did the retracement before going up. So as a matter of fact, that could most likely be giving you a bad formation. So for the bad formation, we may be having just a slight move to the upside one more time before eventually start going down at the 88.6. So price goes to this around the 88.6, or it may still go and test the 88.6 very well before it start coming down. So you are going to be expecting this, something like this. For you to go short. So I'm not in this trade right now because I'm not convinced yet that the sell has started. Now, even if I'm going to be missing out on this sell right now, it's no problem. All I just need to do is to look for how to get in later on by drawing this and this. So by the time price come to this area, then it needs to at least pull up a little and break it below for me to be able to know that yes, we are actually moving downwards. Then I can be looking for myself around that spot. But for now, I am not convinced yet that the move to the downside has started. GBPCAD. Weekly time frame. Now for the GBPCAD, what do we have right here? We have it that, let me zoom it a little. We have it that price gave us a 335 formation. 1, 2, 3, A, 1, 2, 3, B, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. So it gave us an ABC structure right there. Then also we now have another ABC to the upside, and now we are having another ABC to the downside. So in this trade right now, we are in wave C to the downside. So we are expecting that price is going to be moving just in the likely manner at which it has moved here. So I'm saying that I'm expecting price to do something like this. Up to this level. So now that we know where we are going to, let's go to the daily time frame and see. Now for the daily time frame, the price action there is even clearer. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even I did the internal count, but we are not interested in that. Then we did the correction right there for wave B, and now we are going for another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to the downside. And the internal count of this wave 3 right now, I'm expecting another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This gave us a clear indication that price is going to be breaking below. Price is going to be breaking below. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Now for the 4 hours time frame, if you remember that I gave a sell signal around here recently, around here. And that was what I was looking out for. I was looking at price is going to be breaking below this area. And right now it has done that. You can see where we are right now. And there's more likely high probability that price is going to come down further for 5 waves to the downside. So let's go to GB. I just want to try to see where I can speed it up. So that we finish before 8. It's supposed to be a 2-hour upload. So this is the dollar switch, and this is the only GDP that looks more as if we are going to be having a move to the upside soon. Now the structure right there is that price move in this manner, a 3, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right now we are having something that looks like a descending triangle or a diagonal, an ending diagonal. Price is giving us a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we may most likely first go up, then eventually come down, and then finally we start the bullish trend. So let's go to the daily time frame and see. For the daily time frame, we have price. We have price in this manner, a W, X, and most likely we are heading forward for the Y that will complete the wave 4 before we eventually start coming down again for the 5th diagonal move, then finally to the upside. So right now, I'm not sure if this X has been completed yet, but if it's going to have been completed, then we may most likely be having a similar structure that you can see. Just as they have this diagonal right here, we can also have another diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So price can come here, then start going up, giving us a W, X, and Y. Let's go to the MT4 and see the structure that we have right there. If you remember that even on this dollar Swiss, I gave you guys this sell setup. The first sell setup that I gave you, the price did not respect it, then eventually started going up. So I told you not to worry that we are going to be clearing out the sell later on and the loss later on. And price gave us a good entry at the completion of this bearish deep crab. If I take you to, if I press the Fibonacci extension right now from this high to this low, you'll be able to see that price eventually retraced around the 161.8%, which is where the crab usually starts selling from. So immediately I got the crab structure that gave me the sell signal. I took it. Then I moved the target of the initial loss sell position to break even to the entry, so that when price is coming down to this area, it closed me out, just in case price wants to do something like this and keep on going up. I don't want to be in double loss. But the structure that we could see on the daily time frame that I showed you shows us, okay, let me go to the daily time frame right here. Shows us that we may be having something that looks like this. Something that will look like this. Where we have, this is the 1, this is the 2, this is the 3, and this is the 4. And price may come down to this low to test 5 before eventually keep on going to the upside. And in the overall, you can be having a W, X, and Y. That's what the structure that we had on that telegram that I just showed you guys. This one. So the structure is actually that we are still going to go up, but for now we may still be having a test of low first before going up. Even if we want to go up, we need to at least do some retracement before doing that. So we'll be watching price action clearly, and as a matter of fact, I will have been in profit by then. GDP New Zealand. We start from the weekly time frame as usual, and we scale it down to the 4-hour time frame. Now, for this one, we seem to be moving in something that looks like a WXYXZ formation. 1, 2, 3, W, a correction X. Then here we have something that looks like an ABC. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a correction, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why I label this as the ABC. So it is not all the time that you label it the WXY. If you see a 535 inside that structure, you label it the 535. But all in all, we are having something that looks like the WXYX. Then price is going to be coming down for the Z. And the internal count of that will also give you another WXY or ABC. If we have a 535, if we have something that looks like this later on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this labeling becomes an A, B, C instead of WXY. Because here also we have something that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't know if we are going to be having price move in 3 or in 5 in this level. By the time it finishes, that's when we do the completion of the labeling. So let's go to the daily time frame and see where we are. So right here, price have done this. If you remember that I gave a sell signal on the GDP New Zealand recently, maybe it was on the weekly time frame or 4 hours time frame. But right now we had price moving in this manner, then later on giving us a correction A, B, C, D, E. Then at the completion of that E, it flushed down for this move. So this can actually be labeled as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 later on. But for now, I'm first expecting a 3-wave correction, then probably another 3-wave correction, and probably another 3-wave correction, in which case we are going to be having it as the WXY internal. So what we are saying right here is that for GDP New Zealand, we are expecting price to travel down. So the 4-hour time frame. So most of the setup on the 4 hours for GDP seems to be a sell setup. Okay, this was the sell setup I gave for GDP New Zealand first. Then it eventually first went up, and now it starts to start going down. Let me just play it so that you see. So sometimes it's not as if you were wrong, it's just that you got in earlier. And when price wants to keep on going down for a very long time, it will first look for a discount. That means the market maker will first look for a discount by first pushing price up, then forcing it down. So let's go to the MT4 and let's see the GDP New Zealand. So I initiated the GDP New Zealand sell right here. I communicated this to you guys when I saw this harmonic pattern. This harmonic pattern was on the 1 hour time frame, a very clear one, the butterfly pattern. Then on the daily time frame, I was looking at a possibility of a shark pattern right here, where price will break the top and then come down to this low. So all in all, we are still expecting to see a sell structure. So if price doesn't want to go down, then it's not supposed to do this. If it wants to start going up, it's supposed to come here, then give us something that looks like this for us to go long. So that's the structure you should be looking out for if you want to buy it. But I'm not looking at that. The structure that I'm looking out for right now is something that looks like this. Then possibly another correction for us to go long, something like this. USDJPY, weekly time frame. Now for the USDJPY, price just finished moving in this manner, and eventually did something like this. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then price is moving in a sideways correction, and it's going to be going up later on. So most likely, what would have happened in this kind of structure is that price will most likely have been coming up. Then after that, it moves in this manner that we can see on the EURUSD. If you remember the structure of the EURUSD, price is somewhere around here in the EURUSD, and we are expecting it to come down to test the Z. So it's in the same manner that EURUSD are formed right now. Then it broke out. So just as in the same manner, when EURUSD gets to this area, it is going to be giving us exactly this kind of structure in the long term later on. But for now, let's just look at what we have on USDJPY. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 giving us an A. Then this is the correction giving us a B. Then later on, we are going to be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C. So it's going to be giving us just the big structure that we have right here. It's the same thing that we have in this smaller structure right here. But right now we are in wave B, and if you remember in the class that I told you that wave B can be very complex. So let's go to the daily time frame and see the level that we are. So it's looking more likely that price may go up for Y, then after that come down to this level before going up. So for the daily time frame, let's see what we can get. So this is what we have on the daily time frame. So right now, you will see that I've labeled this a W, and possibly price have done the X, and it's going to go forward for the completion of the Y, where this is going to be a 3-wave correction, W, X, and Y. So with this right now, we are going to be looking out for, I think I gave this Y signal recently. Price has eventually started moving in that up manner. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Then we go to the MT4. So on this 4-hour time frame, we have something that looks like this. The price came down, then this 5-wave correction ABCDE, then came down here, and now we're expecting it to go up, giving us something that will look more like an inverted shoulder pattern later on. Now, how are we going to be getting inside this trade? If you go to the MT4, you'll be able to see that price may most likely first come down before it goes up, and that's when we are going to be buying it. We're not just going to jump in anyhow. We are going to look for a setup that will confirm us to go long. So USDJPY, this is what we have right now, and we can expect something like this. So there are two scenarios to be looking at. The first is that if price have started the move to the upside, then it's supposed to give us something that will look like this, which is the first move, your wave 1, and now price is forming a correction 1, 2, and 3. So if price gets to this area and give you a buy signal, that's when we are going to be doing the buy for wave 2. So we are going to be expecting it to pull back at least a little before it eventually goes up. Now, there's something that we call a leading diagonal, and this can give us that kind of a structure where price is going to be retracing about 50% of this move to the upside. So the wave 2 can actually be somewhere around here, where you are going to be having something like this. 1, then price give you a 3-wave correction, 1, 2, 3. Then that is going to break below this level to come to this area, giving you an internal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then eventually coming down for wave 2. For wave 2, somewhere around here, then go to the upside. So that is the structure we are going to be looking at if we want to buy it. Now, what if price wants to go down and wants to sell? Then it's very simple. It means that we are going to be looking at possibly this is the W, and price is going to come down here for the X, and it's going to eventually go down one more or go up one more time before flushing down. It's going to eventually do something like this for the Y completion around there. For the Y completion around here, something like this. After that, you now expect price to eventually start flushing down. So those are the two scenarios of either the buy or the sell that we are looking at. But for me, I would be looking more for the buy than the sell. USDCAD. We've discussed the USDCAD before. We are not going to be wasting time on it. We saw that we are expecting a 5-wave to the downside based on that. And on the daily time frame too, we have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On the 4 hours time frame, we're expecting a pullback first. That means price is actually trading in this manner. So it may actually be doing something like this before it goes down. Which is why right now I have not given you guys any signal yet on the USDCAD, because it is not giving me a setup that the kind of setup I'm looking for. I was thinking that we are going to be looking for an overall shoulder pattern like this, and that price is going to be going somewhere around here. That price is going to be going, when it came up here, they're going to give us a correction to go long and then come down. But that didn't happen. It now started moving in this manner. So with this one right now, we'll be looking for probably a WXY to the upside. So price may be doing this. So I am praying that it gets to this level, but I will not be buying or selling yet. I just want it to get to this level. Then I can trigger the sell for further downside. But for now, I'm saying out. USD sweeps. For USD sweeps, let's quickly go to the weekly time frame. So for this one, we have the price have done this. It's zigzag ABC. Then it's also giving us an ABC correction. So price is currently in wave B, and even as at that, price is supposed to give us a W and X, then Y. Now this X is supposed to be somewhere here. I took it too far. It's supposed to be somewhere around here. So what is not clear yet is if this X has been completed for us to now start looking for sell or not. But I'm not looking forward to trade the USD streets anytime soon. So this is going to be giving you an internal WXY. The structure for the USD Swiss is not that so clean. You can be having it to be moving in this manner, where price is going to be giving you a true wave correction, then going to the upside, which is what I'm expecting. Then after that, you go for the Y, giving you a WXY formation. But for now, it is not clear yet whether the X, which is this X, is completed yet, as price can still come down to this area before it eventually go up. So it's in the middle. Price is actually in the middle right now. As you can see, price is in the middle. So until it gives us a clear indication of what you want to do, we are going to be staying out. Let's go to the NT4 to see where we are. So I'm looking forward to sell it. If you remember that I gave you guys a sell signal based on what I just explained to you. And it's not supposed to, this is where I'm going to be looking at closing it. If it breaks above this level, then I'm going to be closing it. Right now, it's just about minus 30 pips in loss. But if it respects this level and doesn't break above it, then we are going to be holding it for a very long time. Why are we going to be holding it for a very long time? It's just because of the structure that we can see right here, which is that price may eventually still come down to this area before going up. But if it breaks above this level, then it means it's going for the Y straight up. And it's going to be giving us that inverse shoulder edge shoulder pattern to the upside. So I'll be closing it if it breaks above that level. But if it doesn't break above this level, then we are going to be holding it all the way down for how many pips? About 300 pips. Should be for up to 161.8. So the tip is supposed to get to somewhere around here. This is where the tip is supposed to be. Somewhere around here. It's supposed to give you your TP. But for now, let's look at what price is going to do. AUDUSD, I think we have looked at this before. We are looking forward to buying AUDUSD for this structure to the upside. Yeah, I explained this when we look at the EURAUD. The EURAUD was looking forward to sell, and we are looking for that price is going to give us a signal to go long. Let's go to the MT4 to see what the AUD is currently doing. Now, if you look at this structure very well, you'll be able to see that it's looking more likely that we are going to be going up. Looking more likely that we are going to be going up somewhere around here, then coming down to go up further. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, you'll be able to see the up structure very well. This is what you can see. Price is supposed to still come down a little and supposed to give you that 3-wave correction pattern. Where this is the wave 1, then price is going to be giving you 1, 2, and 3. So anywhere around here, if price is rejecting somewhere around here, then we'll be looking forward to going long. So right now, it's not tradable until when price gets to somewhere around here and give us a rejection. But I'm still expecting it to get to this area, even if it wants to start going up. So the sell structure is going to be that if it breaks below this level and it starts doing something like this, then we want to go down furthermore. But I don't see that possibility yet. I'm actually looking at this to go long. AJ. For AJ has similar structure, just like the AUDUSD. So all the odds, usually they have a similar structure. But for this one, I'm looking more for it to just go up a little, then come down to complete this WXY. I gave the long setup around here some time ago. That would be in 2016. The price is going to come here and go up, and that was eventually what happened later on. Then right now we're expecting that price is going to go down. It's going to go down from here, giving us a WXY formation, W, X, and Y. And this can be a zigzag formation on the lower time frame. But for now, we are looking at the possibility for price to go up first before coming down. So let's go to the MT4 and look at the setup. So we have a similar setup, just like we have the AUDUSD. We also have a similar setup for the AUDJPY. So we are expecting that price is supposed to come down a little before we trigger the buy. So price is supposed to get here, give us a rejection around here to go long. But if it's going to be forming a complex structure, then it can give us something more complex around this spot before. But we are going to be looking forward to go long. The reason is because even for USDJPY, we are looking forward to go long on the pair. On USDJPY, if you remember that I told you that we are looking forward to go long too on the pair. And even the GBPJPY, it's going to be coming down, then going up. So most of them have a pullback first before they now resume their bullish trend. AUDCAD, the same structure. If you remember that we are expecting that CAD is going to be strong. When we look at EURCAD, we saw that EURCAD had a down structure. When we look at USDCAD, we saw that USDCAD has a down structure. So in the similar vein, even if you are having a pullback here, because AUD may be strong very soon, then after that, in the long run, we are expecting it for the CAD to be stronger than the AUD based on this structure. Now, this structure is an ABC. So most likely price may have been moving up in this manner and is doing a true wave correction, an A and B and C. Or maybe it's even going to be giving us a triangle where this is the A, and this is the B, this is the C, this is the D, and this is the E, before it eventually starts going up again. But for now, we are looking at price pull up a little, then come down for wave C. So let's go to AUDCAD on the lower on the MT4 and see what we have right there. For the AUDCAD, we have it something similar, which is this. So if we get his rejection around this spot, then we'll be looking forward to buying it. But if you don't get a rejection around this spot, then we free it completely. All suites. Now for all suites, we have this. I assume, because I didn't have historical figure data for me to know what this can possibly be, but I have assumed that price was coming down, then it's giving us an ABC correction, and it wants to keep on going down. So based on that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, giving us the completion of the A, then a correction. So I'm expecting that price is going to pull back for this completion of B, then most likely a 535 formation, giving us going down for that wave C. On the daily time frame, the structure should be clearer there. So on this daily time frame, I'm expecting a pullback first, then price eventually start coming down. So most of the AUD actually have moved to the upside first before they start coming down. All of them have a similar structure. AUD New Zealand. Now for the AUD New Zealand, we have this. Let me just shift this one a little. So we have that price have done 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to first go down for 5 before it eventually starts its journey to the upside. If you go to the daily time frame, to the week 4-hour time frame, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be clearer. So on that, you have this price moved in this manner, then you have this correction phase. Then move for week 3, and you have this correction phase. Then we have one more down, possibly down to the downside before price eventually do something like this. That can give us an inverse shoulder edge shoulder pattern, where this one is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, and all that. So the structure right now is that we are still expecting price to come down to test that low. That means New Zealand is supposed to be stronger than AUD. So let's go to AUD New Zealand and see what we have right there. So this is the structure I just showed you guys right now. And so we'll be expecting price to reject around this zone and keep on going down. But because most of the AUD has a move to the upside and then to the downside, there's a possibility that this can give us a complex structure. It may not just come down immediately. It can be giving us something like this, come down here. So this WX, it can still go up one more for Y before it eventually start coming down. So that when you are selling, you know where to look out for, and the price doesn't break it, you close it and you go and wait for it around the spot for you to sell further. So that completes the AUD. Now we are going to the New Zealand. We still have around 6 pairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About 7, 8 or thereabouts. I just need to be quickly fast. We have about 15 minutes more. So for the New Zealand, we go to the weekly time frame to identify the structure there. Now the structure here looks more like price made this impulse, then it's going to be giving us an ABC correction at the minimum, then eventually start coming down to come to around this level. So as a result of that, what we should be expecting right now is for price to go up. So that means we're expecting New Zealand to be strong, and that is why the setup that you have on GDP New Zealand NZD is a down structure, because the New Zealand that you have as the quote currency right there is going to be strong. That means New Zealand is going to be strong because we want to have this move to the upside. So based on that, we can go to the daily time frame and we look for the structure that wants to take us to the wave C. So right now we have done the W and price have done the X, and most likely it's going for the third wave move that will complete the internal higher degree W, then X, then Y. So for now, we are expecting price to go to the upside and New Zealand to be strong. If it's not going to be, then it's going to be giving us a different structure. Let's go to the daily, to the MT4 and see the structure that we have on the New Zealand. Okay, I think I even gave a setup for that New Zealand. Is a buy setup around here. Then now we are looking for a buy setup. So price was moving in this manner. Price was moving in this manner. Then it did this correction, and we're expecting it to eventually keep on going to the upside, possibly to somewhere around here. Now, let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see if we can try to look out for where we will most likely be getting our entry from. Now, the reason why I've not been trading that is because it looks more like we have an inverse shoulder edge shoulder pattern that wants to break. So if this pattern doesn't break, then price is going to be giving us this structure that you see right now. It's going to come around here and refuse to break below this level. If it fails to break below this level, then we have our confirmation of the buy setup around here for us to keep on going low. So this will now give us the WXY that I told you guys later on. Here price is going to be giving us a 3-wave correction internally, then moving off for the Y. If I go back to the trading view, you'll be able to see it clearly. So I'm expecting this WXY to this area. New Zealand JPY. For the New Zealand JPY, let's start from the weekly time frame too. And this look more like we are also going to be going long. Price did wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and did this correction for wave 4. And it's looking more likely that we have started with wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Price might eventually do this. So meaning that right here, if price gets to this level, we should be looking forward to long. If it breaks, if you want to go short, then it's at least needs to correct that structure. It needs to come back to this area, then come down. So in any which way, when it gets to this area, we need to look for a rejection for us to go long, confirming that New Zealand can be strong after some time. So New Zealand JPY, we are looking forward to a long position. So we have the same similar structure right here. Price is supposed to come to this level before we go long. So we'll be waiting for it to come down here, or possibly come down here for wave 2. Then we'll be looking forward to going long from there. But I'm not looking for selling it. If I want to sell, then I'll be considering the overall structure. This is the structure I was telling you on the trading view. The price at least then needs to come to sell around here first before it eventually starts going down. New Zealand CAD. Now for New Zealand CAD, if you remember that CAD is also supposed to be strong, and we also have that New Zealand may also be strong. So for this pair, you may have it that price may be forming a very complex structure. Right now, we have had a WXY, and price is giving us a 5-wave correction before it will most likely keep on going to the upside. Now, on the daily time frame, we'll be able to see where we are, but most likely, price may still come down to this area before start going to the upside. Let's go to the daily time frame. Now for the daily time frame, this is what we have. You remember that we have something that looks like a triangle formation, and price is now at wave C, heading forward to wave D, heading forward to D. So we might first have this pullback, giving us a WX, then price eventually going up to D for WXY before coming down later on. So CAD is going to be strong and New Zealand is going to be strong. So you have it that the New Zealand CAD is actually moving in a sideways manner. So if you go to the MT4, you'll be able to see the sell happening around there. So you have something that looks like this. So if you want to sell it, you need to wait for price to come back to this area before selling it. So you need to wait for price to do something like this. Then you look forward to selling it from that spot. Then after that, we now start looking forward to buying based on the structure that we can see on the higher time frame. For the higher time frame, we are looking at a possibly zigzag. It's even going to be giving us a zigzag. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where you have the A. And this is going to give you a 3-wave correction, A, B, and C. So price may eventually get to sell around here, giving you the wave B, and eventually start going up. So I'm going to be changing the labeling right here, away from WXY to ABC. Let me just change it right now, because price is giving us a 535 formation. Should be here, ABC. So that's the structure that we'll be looking out for. We are expecting price to get to this level and go up one more time. So the next one we'll be looking at is New Zealand Swiss. We have a similar structure on New Zealand Swiss. Price is supposed to come down to this level, then go up for wave Y. As a matter of fact, this also can give us a 535. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm supposed to also change this one from WXY to ABC. A, B, and C. New Zealand Swiss. So I'm saying that for the New Zealand Swiss, we're expecting that price is going to come down one more time. Price may most likely be doing something like this. So if price is going to be doing this, then after that, we're expecting it to go long. So I wanted to go to the MT4 and try to find out the exact spot where it's going to start buying from. So on the MT4 right now, we have this structure that I've already started right now. And this possibly is going to be the wave 3. And right now, we expect that price is going to come down here, then keep on going up. So you need to wait a little for price to come down and reject around this zone before eventually start looking forward to buying it from that spot. So based on the structure that we can see on the weekly time frame and the daily time frame, we could see that we are expecting price to go long after it gets to wave B. So I don't know right now if wave B have been completed, but by the time it completes, we are supposed to know then trigger our buy from that spot. CAD JPY, we have just about 4, then we are done. Or let me just leave that and go to, I think we should leave that and just go to gold and oil. Gold, oil, and BTC, that's Bitcoin. So let me try to go to gold. Then from gold, we also look at US oil. And from US oil, we look at Bitcoin. I don't know why the chart is not loading right now. I think I'm having some internet challenges. And so if the problem persists, then I may have to stop there. We have been able to look at about almost 30 pairs right now, or at least 25 pairs. And that one, we can be able to see 1 or 2 trading opportunities that we want to take this coming week. So, but the setup I can see on gold is also a sell. And I've given you guys a sell setup on gold. Let me go to gold on the, on the MT4. Gold should be somewhere around here, right here. So we triggered a sell on gold recently. Triggered a sell on gold, and it is because I could see a WXY. By the time the by the time the trading view data loads, I will take us back to the trading view so that we have an idea of the overall trade setup I'm looking at on the gold. But right now, what I could see is that price look more likely that it's going to come down to this area. And if it's going to be forming a complex structure, it can go for WXY, then eventually start coming down. But what's look more likely is that price may eventually get to this low before we start going up. The reason for this is because if you remember that when we analyze the dollar index, the analysis we do on the dollar index is that the dollar index is supposed to first be strong, and then later on it's going to be weak. So since it's going to be strong, the strength is going to first drag the gold down, then we can eventually be strong later on. I don't know for how far before it eventually starts coming down. But for now, we are still supposed to at least test this area. Let me go to the 4 hours time frame and look at the alternative in case the structure wants to change. Now, if the structure is going to be changing, then we are going to be having this. That is, price is going to be doing this. then it's going to be giving us a correction right here, then going further up to the upside. If it's going to be selling, then it's going to first get here, then pull up a little and come down, which is why I first put my stop, take profit around here. And when the pullback is done, I can trigger another sell to ride it further down. But the risk about that spot is that if price wants to keep on going up, and if I take a sell around here, it might hit the stop loss. So if you hit the stop loss, I won't mind. I'll just wait for the structure to be clear, whether it's going to go up or it's going to keep on coming down. Let me try to look for US oil. Or let me try to reload the data. Maybe the data that I was trying to load before. Trading view. I don't know why trading view is no more loading right now. The trading view is no more loading, but it's no problem. We are going to be looking at it in the later on, in the later view. But let's go back to, let's just use the US oil right here. For the US oil, I'm expecting to see something like this. We'll have something that looks like this, where this is going to form the neckline, and this is the inverse shoulder edge shoulder pattern. So that means that the oil is going to be having to break to the upside. So, and you remember that CAD is related to the US oil. And the reason is because the United States is the highest importer of oil from the Canada. And so when oil shows strength, then the Canada is going to be strong, and USDCAD is going to eventually start going down, which is why you saw the structure on the USDCAD, something that looks like this on the USDCAD. So we're expecting that USDCAD is going to sell, because we have an idea that US oil is going to go to the upside. Then finally for Bitcoin, I wish that trading view is actually opening right now so that I can take you guys to Bitcoin. Because I know that some of you are actually looking at the possibility of you buying Bitcoin. But let me just use the MT4 that I have right here. Okay, I don't have Bitcoin label right here, so I can't use it. But I'm going to be sending you guys the analysis on Bitcoin. And the structure right there is that there's going to be a further down. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so around here. And price is pulling back around this spot to go for the wave 5 before it eventually starts going to the upside. So if you want to buy Bitcoin right now, you are not supposed to buy it yet. You are just supposed to wait a little. So I don't know if you guys have any question. Do you guys have any question? If you have any question, raise your hand, or just identify so that I can mute you, or you can type your question. If you are not in a noisy place, then I can unmute you. Any question, guys? Do we have any question? I'm going to unmute you guys if you have any question, but if you don't have any question, then I think we can call it a day. We are going to be having this once in a while, maybe once in a week, or as seems to have it necessary. But right now, I'm going to be looking at it weekly. Then later on, I'm going to be looking at it more frequently, maybe daily or thereabout. But with this, I know that you guys may have learned 1 or 2 things. Then if you peradventure, if you want to be part of the training class, you can let me know. You can chat me up in a group. My Twitter, or no, let me just not even take it to my Twitter. My Telegram is Elemosho Trading Desk. Elemosho Trading Desk. I'm sure that most of you are there. Elemosho Trading Desk. Just put at Elemosho Trading Desk. It's going to take you there. Then you can also chat me in the WhatsApp group. or you can search for at Forex Grandmaster on Telegram, Forex Grandmaster. It's going to take you there automatically. So if you have any question, you can also ask me at the Telegram. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and my regards to your royal family. Cheers and happy trading.